So very good evening, one and all. Welcome to Quarantine webinar series from Madblocks Technologies Private Limited. And today the topic is about face recognition using Amazon Web Services. So hope you're aware of face recognition because these days every mobile is supporting face recognition, right? Isn't it? In this webinar, we are going to explore a service called Rekognition from AWS. If you want to do hands-on, hope you should have this account called aws.amazon.com. They're offering 1 year free trial for students, developers, and all. You can easily create an account in AWS, but ensure you're having a debit card or credit card, because they would be deducting 2 rupees from your card for card verification. So AWS, you'll get a call from AWS, which is call verification will be done, email verification will be done, and card verification will be done, and thereby they'll be offering you 1 year free trial. AWS Amazon Web Services is very popular for software as a service model and also for platform as a service model. Many thousands of companies are using Amazon Web Services because of its simple software as a service model and platform as a service model. AWS is widely offering hundreds of services and various verticals, out of which Rekognition is one, where by using this service you can do visual classification, and also object identification, and also face classification. Video analytics is also possible here in Rekognition service. So in 1 year free trial, Rekognition service you can subscribe is also there. Not every service in AWS is there in 1 year free trial. Only few services will be there in 1 year free trial, out of which Rekognition is one. So today the topic is face recognition using AWS. So we'll be using a service called Rekognition, and that is why I'm particularly talking about a service called Rekognition here. So if you want to do hands-on along with me, make sure that you have this aws.amazon.com. Either you can have an educate account or you can have a normal individual personal account on AWS. So let me open the AWS. So the URL is aws.amazon.com. So you'll get the main website of Amazon Web Services. So here you'll be having AWS Management Console. You need to click on AWS Management Console. When you click on AWS Management Console, you'll get what are the services available in AWS. You'll have different types of verticals here, right from compute, storage, database, blockchain, satellite, and all. Out of which there is a service called Rekognition. So let's search for it. Rekognition. Yeah, Amazon Rekognition. So Amazon Rekognition is nothing but a service which is available in AWS, which is like search and analyze images. You need to click on it. Then Rekognition console will open. Amazon Rekognition page will open, This is a console page of Amazon Recognition Service. So the Amazon Recognition is using deep learning based visual analysis service, where you'll be having some algorithms like convolution neural networks and deep neural networks are integrated in AWS Amazon Recognition Service. So let's check what are the APIs are available. Here on the left side, you can see the dashboard navigator of Amazon Recognition Service, how to create a custom label and what are the demos, how to go for object and scene detection, image moderation, facial analysis. And by using facial analysis, you can do, prediction of age, prediction of gender, or you can identify what is the emotion of the face, whether he is smiling or feeling happy or feeling sad or feeling frustrated and all. You can go for celebrity recognition and face comparison. Text and image and video analysis is also there. So these are the different types of use cases where people check whether Amazon recognition will fit into their application or not. So let's check for one simple service, say object and scene detection. If you look at, and this is an image which has been which is a test image, which is a sample image which has been displaying in the page. So here, if you look at the image, there are various automobiles are there, various cars are there, and there is a person who is standing there, and there is a skateboard which is there. When this image is passed to Amazon recognition, it is able to identify what is the object there in the image. Something like transportation 98.8%, car, it has identified as car. Car is there in the image, which is 98.8%, automobile, vehicle, human, person, and a lot of objects are being identifying here. This is a sample image which has been uploaded to the AWS and all, or you can upload your own image. It can able to identify what is the object which is there in that image and all. So let's go for facial comparison or facial analysis. If you go for facial analysis, it will identify. When you go for a facial analysis here, for example, so there is an image which is a sample image which is there available, and it is identifying, yes, looks like a face, 99.9%, appears to be a female, which is like gender classification. Age range can be 17 to 29 years old, which may be age classification. And the emotion here, saying that yes, smiling 91.7%, appears to be happy, and wearing glasses. So these are the various parameters which has been identified in the image by the Amazon recognition service automatically, which we are not training any data set here. It is already trained in the Amazon recognition service. So we can easily upload and we can identify all the metrics which is related to the image. So let's jump into face comparison, which is today's topic. So there is a sample image. There are sample images here. There is a reference image and there is a test image here. So it is trying to identify what is the whether the reference image is there in this test image or not. So it is trying to identify. So when you look at similarity, and this particular face is there, which is equal to 99.8% in the test image, and it is also comparing with the remaining faces which are available in the test image. So this kind of comparison is simple in AWS because the models are trained, and we can simply do that. But my intention is not this. I wanted to show you how to do Python programming, how to compare two faces in Python using Python by using AWS and all. That's what my intention is all about today. So let's jump into the request and responses, how to call it and all. So I'm using command prompt. So in Windows you'll have a command prompt here. Let's start the real topic. Let's start face recognition using AWS. I'll tell you in steps. Step 1. First, you have to AWS recognition. Recognition is a service in AWS, and this service has to be called from the laptop, or you can say a local machine, or you can say local machine, a local machine, which has internet. That's it, which has internet. To do this, the AWS should allow the request coming from Coming from a local machine, if you want to access a recognition service in AWS, the AWS should allow the request. Okay, generally AWS, people are using AWS because of its high security and all. So the security is very tough in AWS. So we need to create a user saying that please allow the request which has been executing in the local machine by the AWS. So here what you have to do is you're composing a program. I'll talk about flow. What is a flow here? There is an image, say image 1, or you can say source image. There is image 1 and there is image 2, which is a targeted image. And you need to do face comparison, face recognition between the two images, image 1 and image 2. And these two images are there in the local machine. They are not in AWS, they are in the local machine. They're in the local machine. And your algorithm and your service is recognition service is in AWS, it is not in local machine. So this local machine has to upload these two images to AWS, which means that the recognition, the AWS should allow the incoming connection from a local machine, and this is done through a service called IAM, Identity and Access Management Service. Not every machine can access AWS recognition because AWS is very secure. So your local machine should register. Your local machine should register with AWS through IAM service. When it is registered, then only it will allow the incoming connection. So here your point is to upload two images. One is source image and targeted image. If you want to do that, you need to create an access which is through IAM service. So let's jump into IAM service. So in IAM service, what you have to do is in IAM, you have to create a user for your local machine. Without creating a user, you cannot access the services of AWS. So you need to create a user for your local machine when the program is that you want to execute is in local machine. If there is a point of local machine, then obviously you have to create a user. But on the second day of webinar, we spoke about Alexa, right? Some of you are there in the Alexa webinar also. In Alexa webinar, we have not created any user because the program which is running there is in Lambda function, which is online, which is not offline. But the program now is executing on a local machine, which means that it is not an online machine, it is an offline machine, which is a local machine. So we have to create a user for it. So let's jump into the console. Let's jump into a service called IAM. IAM is nothing but identity and access management here. It has to identify your local machine. So we are using a service called IAM service. So IAM management console is now opening on my laptop. And through this IAM, we need to create a user. Identity and access management console is this. If you want to access any service in AWS from a local machine, there should be a user which is allocated to it. So without creating user, you cannot access the service of AWS. So let us create a user. There is a dashboard here. We'll have users. We need to create a user. There are some existing users in my account which are being created previously. So let us create a user. I'll show you how to create a user. So here, if you want to create a user, you have to click on add user. So it will ask you to enter username. So the username here it is say webinar _ face. You have to give some username. And after entering username, you have to talk about what is the access type. So access type There are two types of access types here. One is programmatic access. Second one is management console access. Management console access is through AWS management console. But here, as we are programming in Python, as we wanted to do programming in Python, you should take programmatic access only, not AWS management console access. If you tick on programmatic access, it means that you have to access your recognition service offline from any local machine by using AWS APIs, AWS CLI, or AWS SDK, or through any other development tools and all. So you need to enter your username. This user has to be created by using IAM service in AWS. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management, and that gives a permission for your local machine. You need to click on Next Permissions. So here this part is very important because you need to take some permissions, or you need to create some policies here. So let's create some policies, because this is very important step, because in some places people will miss this step. They'll click on next tag, but you need to allocate some permissions to your user. So that is based on the application that you wanted to do, because there are a lot of policies here. So you need to identify which policy will suit for this user and all. So as of now, we have wanted to do recognition. So you need to type recognition in the search bar. So you'll get Amazon recognition custom labels full access, Amazon recognition full access, Amazon recognition read only access, and Amazon recognition service rule. So you'll have 4 different types of policies here. So as of now, we wanted to do face recognition in AWS. So that is why you need to tick Amazon recognition full access. So when you click on Amazon recognition full access, you can easily access all the functions which are there in AWS through this user. So that is why I clicked on Amazon recognition full access. So you need to search for recognition service. When you search for recognition service, you'll get the policies directly here, and you need to attach the policy for the user. Then only the user can able to access recognition service from this particular account. So you need to click on next tags after selecting permission role as AWS recognition full access. So this is not required. If you want to have your own key, you can enter your own key, but AWS will be generating a random key. So username is webinar_face. AWS type is programmatic access. Permission boundary. So permission boundary is not set. You can access in any region. Managed policy. The policy permissions are very important, because here the permission is Amazon recognition full access. This is a permission that you should take for face recognition part. So in this webinar, as we are going for face recognition, so this policy is very important, Amazon recognition full access. And then you have to click on create user. When you click on create user, key will be generated, access key, secret key, secret token will be generated. So access key and secret access key will be generated. And by using this access key and secret access key, we will be accessing the recognition service from a local machine. If you pass this credentials, access key and secret access key, then only you can able to access your recognition service from a local machine. Without this, you cannot access. So you need to download them. They are one-time generatable. You cannot regenerate the same secret access key again and again. So that is why there is an option here to download the credentials. If you click on this, credentials.csv file will be downloaded, and that file will be holding what is your access key ID, the same access key ID, and the secret access key. Generally, secret access key will be with confidential. So that is why they will show as stars, and access key ID is a encrypted ID. For a one access key ID, you can have one secret access key, which is like ATM number and ATM pin. So ATM number, anyways, it will be open, but ATM pin will be secret. So when you download this download.csv, credentials.csv file will be downloaded, and by using these credentials from a local machine, from laptop, you can able to access recognition service, and you can do face comparison there. So what we have created a user for your local machine. So thereby the credentials are being downloaded from AWS where we have entered some username, and access is programmatic access because we wanted to do through Python programming. And next, the permission policy. We took a permission policy called AWS Recognition Full Access. Thereby, we can access any kind of service in recognition. So the programming language is Python. In particular, Python 3, because Python 2 is no longer available in online from 2020 Jan. So officially, it is Python 3. Editor, I'm using simple Notepad as an editor. Interpreter is just Python 3. Okay. Anyways, interpreter is Python or Python 3. So to execute, this particular face recognition, what we have to do is we have to install some packages on your local machine, and thereby, then only we can do face recognition here. So let's talk about what are the packages, what are the packages required, and why are they required. So there is one package called Boto 3, and there is a second package called AWS CLI. So Boto 3, what is this Boto 3? Boto 3 is a library, is an official library. So Boto 3 is an official library from AWS to handle all the services, to handle all the APIs. AWS CLI, this is a command line interface tool to access the services. So Boto 3 and AWS CLI, you need to install these two packages so that we can jump into face recognition. So let's install on my command prompt too, and you can do this on your own command prompt after creating a user in AWS IAM. And the package and the steps to install the packages are like pip install AWS CLI and pip install Boto 3. So these are the two commands where you can run on your command prompt so that these two packages will be installed directly onto your local machine. Pip install AWS CLI and pip install. What is pip? Pip stands for package installer. Python package installer. By using this package installer, you can install packages directly from command prompt. So let's install this by using command called pip install AWS CLI. So you need to type pip install AWS CLI, enter. Then immediately AWS CLI package will be downloaded from internet and will be installed onto your local machine. So in this webinar, I have shown you how to create a user in AWS IAM. So you need to create a user. After creating user, if you want to do hands, I'm just repeating this. If you want to create, after creating user, so you need to install this AWS CLI, must and should. Then only you can able to access the services of AWS. It is now installing. Yes, the package is installed. Let's install the second package also, which is pip install Boto 3. These two packages has to be installed on your local machine. Then only from your local machine you can access AWS resources. Not only recognition, if you want to access any kind of resource, you need to create a user in IAM, and you need to give permission policy there according to the application context. And then you have to install these two packages, Boto 3, not only for recognition service. For any service, you need to install this Boto 3 library and also AWS CLI. So these two libraries are important. They're officially supported by AWS for accessing local machines and all. Okay, this is also installed. So now the packages are installed. the packages are installed. Now we need to configure. Now we need to configure our machine with AWS. How to do that? We need to configure our machine with AWS. If you want to configure your machine, there is a command here called AWS space configure. So when you run this command AWS space configure, so your local machine will be configured with AWS space configure. So let's run this AWS space configure, enter. When you hit this AWS space configure, enter, it will ask you to enter what is your access key, ID and all. So we have downloaded the access key, ID and all. So let's open those credentials. So there is username, or there is no password, because password will not be generated. You'll have access key and access key ID. So let's copy this access key ID and let's paste it here. So access key ID is pasted, Control V or right click on command prompt. Next, secret access key. So there is also secret access key here. So I'll copy the secret access key. I'll paste it here. It is asking default region name. Default region is EU-West-1. So this is a default region name, and then you have to hit enter. None. Yes. Output format is none. So these are the configuration that you have to do. One, you have to enter your access key ID. Second, you have to enter your secret access key, and then you have to enter a region. Region is by default EU-West-1, and output format is none. No need to enter anything there. Thereby, when you enter all these details properly, then only your AWS will be configured with your local machine. So this step is also very important. Before writing a program for face recognition, you need to do little configuration on your local machine, because face recognition has to be executed on your local machine. Thereby, you need to do all these things. You need to configure your machine by entering access key ID, secret access key, and region name. Region name is EU-West-1, and output format is none. No need to enter anything there. When you hit enter, immediately your AWS AWS credentials are passed. Now you can access your AWS resources by using these credentials, which is passed to the backend. So let's write a program for face recognition. So let's jump into desktop, cd space desktop, and then so let's create a folder, mkdir space, say webinar face, cd space webinar -face. So I just browse to the desktop, cd space desktop, which is nothing but change directory space desktop, and then I have created a folder called webinar-face, and then I browsed it. So here let's create a program. Before we create a program, so let's take two different face images, because face images are important now. So let's put MoDG inside webinar face. So this is holding a face of Prime Minister G. So I'll write Modi, and I will also download some images. I'll download an image. I'll write Modi. So I'll download some images. I'll try to compare this image. I'll try to compare this image. Save images. So there are two images which I took of Modi ji. I need one more unliked image. I'll take Trump. It's raining outside, so. So here I have downloaded. So I have downloaded two Narendra Modi ji images and one Trump ji image. So there are three images here, Modi and Modi 1. I'll try to compare Modi and Modi 1 using face recognition API of AWS, and then I'll compare Modi with Trump. So that is a failure case, right? Because the faces will not be matched. Notepad space face.py. Notepad is nothing but Notepad. Notepad will be there in every Windows system, right? Face.py, face is the program name. .py is extension. I'll hit enter. Here you have to write a program for comparing faces. So let's import Boto3 because this is the package which we have to import for accessing AWS resources. Import Boto3. I'll also import time library here, and then we have to create, and then we have to hash, right? Hash is comment in Python. We have to create a client package that is important. And let's jump into the API. I'll show you how to access API. So this is a Boto3 documentation site. So boto3.amazonaws.com. So this is a website where you can browse the documentation of AWS, which is particular Boto3. You can check for recognition service because there are a lot of services in the API. So I searched for a service called recognition because that is what we need for face recognition. So in the recognition service, there is a documentation site. There is a documentation page here called client, how to create a client. So you need to import a package called Boto3. That is what we wrote in Notepad. And this is a function called client object equal to Boto3.client of recognition. So using this syntax, we need to define here creating a client package, or you can say creating a client object in particular. Client equal to Boto3.client of recognition. So it means that yes, one client object will be created, and this client can be able to communicate with AWS resources there. Take source images here. Source image is equal to there are two source images here. So let's call them by using a function called open of modi dot. Sometimes the extension will be JPG, sometimes the extension will be PNG, right? So you need to check modi extension is JPG. So you write modi.jpg, comma, read binary, that is important. And source target image equal to open of modi1 dot what is the thing, right? modi1 extension is PNG. Okay, so irrespective of the extensions, we can use JPG extension or PNG extension, but the thing is like the size of the image should not be greater than 5 MB. Okay, the size of image should not be greater than 5 MB. We have imported the packages, and then we have created a client object, and then we spoke about what are the source images and what are the target images. So open in Python, open is a predefined function which opens the file. So here we are having two files. One is modi.jpg and modi1.jpg, and also we are having one more file which is target image1. I'll write equal to open of trump dot. So let's check what is the extension there. Trump.jpg, comma rb, read binary. So the size of the image, make sure that it will not exceed 5 MB. So here let's make a function call. There is a function call here called compare underscore faces. Yes, compare underscore faces. Yeah, there are a lot of function calls for every service in recognition. So you need to check what are the functions available based on your application. So here the application is like comparing faces. So we need to click on compare underscore faces. So it says that compare underscore faces is an API which compares a face in the source input image with each of the largest faces detected in the target input image. So you need to pass input image, source input image, and target input image to compare underscore faces, and thereby it can easily identify. So let's check how to do that. So there is a syntax here. So client.compare underscore faces, are source image. So there is a keyword argument here. So hope you're aware of keyword arguments and positional arguments. So there is a keyword argument here which is source image equal to flower bracket open bytes colon bytes. So they're using S3 object colon, which means that S3 object is nothing but something like Google Drive. In AWS, you'll be having S3 buckets. So we are not using S3 buckets as of now. We are just using the images which are available in the local machine. So we need to edit this, and target image equal to. So I'm talking about the variable name. The variable names are predefined. We should write S capital, I capital, and we should write T capital, I capital, which is target image equal to. And also similarity threshold. What should be the threshold value in identifying the faces? You need to pass some threshold value here. Quality filter, by default it will be none. If you want to put any quality filter here, you can put. So that is what they will explain here. Source image in the form of dictionary format. Yes, this is called dictionary format. In dictionary format, you'll have key and value. So you should pass a dictionary format. Source image as this dictionary format and target image as dictionary format. So this is a required argument, and this is also required argument, source image and target image. Similarity threshold, the minimum level of confidence that the minimum level of confidence in the face matches that a match must meet to be included in the face matches array. So face matches array is an output response where you'll get face matches, how many faces are matched and which face is matched, and all the data will be stored in the face matches array. So quality filter, sometimes it will be none, or if your face are blurry, then you can have the quality filter also. So this will be the response output, response syntax. When you call compare underscore faces, then it's talk about what is source image face, what is the similarity value, where is the face detected, what is the bounding box height, width, left and top, what is the confidence ratio, what are the landmarks in the sense where is the eye left located, where is the eye right located, where is the nose located, where is the mouth left located, and every dimensions you'll get here, and what is a pose, and in similar way you'll get unmatched faces and all. So this you can able to identify after once the API is called. So let's call the API. So I already wrote here, so I'll do this. Response equal to client.compare underscore faces. I took a client object here. Similarity threshold equal to source image source image equal to bytes colon. So here you write, here you wrote source image, so here also you should write source image dot read, comma target image. What target image equal to target image dot read. So I'll reduce the font, that will be in a single line, or you can put tab spaces also. So for you to understand, I wrote in a single line. So here we have included our images with source image as variable and target image as variable, and target image one, which is trump image. So here we are making a call called client.compare underscore faces. So here we are passing keyword arguments, and the first keyword argument is similarity threshold equal to 70, which means if 70% is matched, if the faces are matched for 70%, this is a predefined variable. This source image is a predefined variable, but this source image is not predefined variable. The variable which is written here, is not predefined. We can have any kind of variable, but the variable which is written here is a predefined variable. Source image equal to bytes colon source image dot read, and target image equal to bytes colon target image dot read. And this is the call which we need to make for comparing faces, where first argument is the threshold value which has been passed, second argument is a source image, and third argument is a targeted image. So when you call this, It sends a request to AWS face recognition service in your account, and it will try to download the response here. So response will be in this format. So let's print the response. I wrote here. So for face match in response of face matches, if it is matched, then I'll say print the source image is matched, else colon print source image is not matched. So here as of now we have given modi.jpg and modi1.png to the API call, which means that the faces are matched. When the face is matched above 70%, then only response will be having face matches index. If it is not matching, it will not have any face matches index there. For you to understand, I can print what response it will print of response. Okay, thereby you can understand easily. So this face matches will comes into picture. Face matches will comes into picture. Will come only when face are matched. Okay, I'm saving the file. It's just a 5-6 lines program because we are using API calls for doing face recognition here. It's a very simple program where we have imported packages called Boto3 and time. I have not used anything there. You can leave time library also. And we have created a client object called client equal to boto3.client of recognition. And source image we have imported, and targeted image also we have imported by using open method in Python. And response equal to client.compare underscore faces. We wrote the 3 arguments here. First argument is threshold value. Second argument is source image. And the next thing is targeted image. And then we have printed response, and we are checking whether face matches index is available or not. So let's run this program. You know how to run it, right? Control S for saving and open command prompt, and you can type python space face.py. If internet is available, you will get the response here in 1 minute. My internet today is very slow because it was raining outside. Okay. It is building both. Okay, let's forget about this print statements. Let's understand this response which has been printed there. Source image face bounding box width, height, left and top. So bounding box is nothing but a box which can be drawn around the face with the width, height, left and top. And confidence is 99.99, which means that 99% says that both images are same. And face matches, yes, face matches similarity. What is the similarity here? 99.9%. And width, height and top, and it is showing where is the nose identified and all. So unmatched faces is empty. That is what you have to understand. If unmatched faces is empty, which means that faces are matched. There is 2 variables where you need to understand. One is face matches variable key. So this is dictionary, right? Dictionary you can access through key and value pairs. So here there is a key called face matches. There is a key called face matches, and there is a key called unmatched faces. Unmatched faces is empty because they're matched. So here in face matches it is not empty. So it is showing what is the similarity between the images. It is showing similarity between the images is 99.69%. So let's pass. Let's forget about this print statements. I will delete this print statements later. I'll write. I'll pass targeted image. I'll pass Trump image here, and I will call the function. I'll execute the program. Now here See here. Now the face matches key is empty, but unfaced matches is not empty. Where is this unfaced match? Yeah, unmatched faces. Unmatched faces is now, it's not empty now, and face matches is empty. It clearly says that, this is not matched. But here when you look at the MODI, when I pass MODI images to two similar images, then it is saying face matches, and there is a similarity value in face matches. But here when I'm passing Trump image and MODI image, it is showing face matches as empty. So by using this logic, we can write a Python program to print whether faces are matched or not. Because understanding this response is very important, because it's simple when you have AWS API. It's very simple to have. When you have AWS API, it's very simple to access the function calls and all. It's very simple to do face recognition because it's only through two functions are important. One is creating client, second one is compare underscore faces. If you can call them easily, then understanding the response, what it is printing there, and based on it you can write a simple Python logic to print face matched and not matched. So here I'll write first. So here I'm passing MODI image and source image and target image one, which is nothing but MODI and Trump image here. I wrote a simple logic. Let's run the program. You'll understand. Now it is printing faces not matched because I have passed MODI image and Trump image. I'll pass two MODI images. So let's save the program. Let's run the program. Now it should print faces matched. Now it is printing faces matched. So I wrote a simple logic wherein if in response face matches in response of face matches, if face is matched, I took face flag is 1. So this is a dummy variable. I can write dummy equal to 0 also, and this is a dummy variable. When interpreter enters into for loop, it means that face is matched, so I made it as 1. If it is 1, face is matched. If it is 0, face is not matched. A simple dummy logic I wrote here, and this logic is not so much important because anyone can write that logic, but understanding this client dot compare underscore faces is important. So now if you pass two identical images, two similar images I should say, then you'll get faces matched. If not, you'll get faces not matched. And based on this logic, you can do any kind of face recognition systems, something like locker recognition using faces, or you can put face recognition door. You can have any kind of application for face recognition here by using simple 5-6 lines. That's all about face recognition. It's very simple. When you have AWS with you, you can simply compare face. You can use a function called compare underscore faces, and you can do that. So when I repeat the process, it's simple. We have created a user in IAM. After creating user, we have installed certain packages called Boto3 and AWS CLI. After that, installing the packages, we have configured our AWS, and then we wrote a simple program for doing face recognition. This program, when you look at, I'll divide this program into 3 parts. One is importing packages, creating a client object, and then we have imported our image files into this program by calling openup with read attribute, read binary, and then we called a function called compare underscore faces, and we put a threshold value for 70. If 70% is matched, then only it returns a response there. And we have passed two other arguments in addition to threshold, which is source image and target image. And then we are passing, when you call this Can we use a full size pic instead of only face? Yes, you can use a full size pic also, but when you pass full size pic, the AWS, what it will do is it will identify where is a face located in the full size pic, and then it will crop up to that face, and then it compares the face. It compares the faces only. It will not bother about what is there in the full size pic. And all. You can pass full size pic or a normal pic. It will bound it. Only face part will be extracted from the pic, and then it. So here, when you do compare faces, when you understand compare faces, what it will do is first it will identify whether face is found or not, and second it will crop the face part. Third, it will try to compare the extracted faces between the two images. So that is why though you pass a full size pic, or it will not bother. It just identifies whether face is found or not, and then it will crop the face part, and it will compare the extracted faces between the two images there. Thank you all.